IFRS 9 became effective in 2018 for all European entities reporting under IFRS, other than insurers. The standard changes the accounting requirement for equity instruments. The European Commission has requested EFRAG to investigate what effects the new requirements may have on long-term investment and whether the requirements could be improved. Now, financial reporting standards are not specifically designed to promote long-term investment and economic growth. Their main objective is to bring transparency to financial markets. However, long-term investment is clearly important for Europe's future economic growth, and this is why we want to understand the broader effects of IFRS 9. Different views are being expressed on whether these new requirements may affect the decisions of long-term investors. However, since the standard has only been effective for a few months, it is too early to have any kind of conclusive evidence. However, EFRAG has collected valuable information and data via public consultation and a review of relevant literature by an academic team. Both reports are available on our website. Equity instruments are carried at fair value. For those instruments that are not held for trading purposes, entities have a choice. They can either recognize immediately the changes in fair value through profit or loss, or they can recognize them through other comprehensive income, also known as OCI. If the entities do this, they do not recognize any amount in profit or loss in relation to those investments other than dividends received. Some would favor to allow entities to transfer gains and losses from OCI to profit and loss when the instrument is eventually sold. This is an accounting mechanism known as recycling. Now, recycling was allowed under the predecessor standard IAS 39. However, entities were also required to assess if investments were impaired, and in that case, to transfer the negative difference from OCI to profit or loss. However, one problem with this approach is that it is difficult to make a distinction between those declines in fair value that are impairment losses and those that are not. Entities were using different methodologies, and there were concerns about the lack of comparability and the timeliness of recognition of impairment losses. EFRAG will report to the European Commission on 3 questions. Would recycling of profit and loss improve the financial reporting for equity instruments carried at fair value through OCI? Would the recycling model also need an impairment solution? And what would a robust impairment solution for equity instruments be? EFRAG has published a discussion paper to gather input on these questions. The discussion paper explores some possible alternatives. However, at this stage, EFRAG has not yet taken a preliminary position. EFRAG remains open to suggestions on this topic. This is a complex and important topic for the European financial reporting community. Your insight will be helpful as we develop our final advice to the European Commission. Thank you in advance for sharing your views.